Okay.
Right.
But with meth and spicy play, it's horrible. Now there's a chemical buffer preventing us from getting to the core of the issue, which is the mental illness. And now that's why you're having the fights. It's not because they don't know me. It's not because of a lack of training. It's just like they see me as a 6-foot alligator.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And that's what it is. We had I remember I was at a symposium, and there was a mental health expert who took his time bashing the police on how we respond to mental illness. I'm not saying all of us are perfect or walk on water. There have been some horrible incidents nationwide. That's the negative exception. But and he went on, and I got frustrated, and I raised my hand, and I said, okay, sir, I understand you think that you guys should be handling all this. As a matter of fact, I agree that you guys should be handling it. But let me ask you a question, sir. If you were out here in Skid Row and you saw one of your clients, and you're an expert, right? He says yes. You saw one of your clients who now was exhibiting extreme versions of the symptoms that you deal with on a regular basis with this guy. He's got burned fingertips, his eyes are this big, his pupils are dilated, he's sweating, and all the indicia or indicators of him being under the influence of meth or spice. And he's daring people to come within 5 feet, and then he'll kill them, and he's slapboxing with city buses. Let me ask you, sir, you're the professional, let me ask you, what would you do to get him under control?
Exactly.
And you know what he said? He bowed his head and said, I'd call the police. And that's what people don't understand.
Right.
They have to be detained, put on a hold before they can be helped. And lastly, a 72-hour hold is not enough.
No, it's not. And I was going to get to that.
Yes.
So basically dealing with the mental illness, I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, that if we or a outreach worker was to approach a mental ill person, and we ask that person, and we have to ask them an in and out kind of question, you know, for services. And if they say no, that's it, we can't do anything for them.
They have total autonomy. Like I said, years ago, we closed down the shelters and they sued where we couldn't put them back. And they have total autonomy until they reach crisis. Once they reach crisis, then we can help them with a 72-hour hold. But here's the problem with the 72-hour hold. For most people struggling with mental illness, it takes 2 weeks for their medication to stabilize them.
And a little bit longer.
Or even longer.
Even longer.
So with this, and now the 72-hour hold isn't even 72 hours.
No.
You take them, you drop them off, and then they give them pills, and if it looks like the medication works, are you okay, sir or ma'am? They go, sure, I'm fine. And then they say goodbye. And 6 hours later, 3 hours later, they're right back on the streets. And here's what they do with the medication. They don't want to take anything that's going to bring them down. They just experience crack cocaine. So they're going to take that and they're going to sell that on the street to make money to do what? Go self-medicate on the hard drugs that drive them to commit other crimes, and the cycle continues. It's not the fire department, it's not the police department, it's not the mental health workers that's failing them.
Right.
It is our system, and that has to change, and that starts at the top.
Yeah, it does. Because as a mental health advocate for myself, you know, I took the course with NET, of course, so I can be better educated.